is Nick from fitstep.com and powerfultrainingsecrets.com. Now, this is a very specific type of exercise. It's going to be very beneficial if you find when you get into doing heavy deadlifts that your core kind of collapses in and is your weak link when you're doing a heavy deadlift. For me, that's exactly what happens. Like when I start getting into like 500, 550, 600 pound range, what happens for me is right about here. That's when my core kind of caves in a little bit and forces my back to round over, and I have to really, compromise my form in a way that I really don't like. And I know it's limiting how much weight I can really pull. My back and my legs are able to support that, but my core just kind of folds over. Now, I've tried a variety of different approaches for strengthening the core. Front squats are a good way to go. Curl squats are another, where you do a curl, holding the bar in the curl position. But they don't really specifically hit that kind of crumpling that occurs in the core with a deadlift, I found. So what I've done here is kind of come up with a way to very specifically target that aspect of the core when you're doing a deadlift. So what you're going to do is set a bar in the rack. Now this is going to be about 2.5 feet off the ground, right about mid-thigh height. You're going to use a couple of dumbbells for this, and I like to use a barbell pad. Because what I'm going to do is basically set my stomach right on top of this bar. That's going to be what my stomach is going to be forced to brace against while I'm lifting these dumbbells. So my feet are going to be on the ground in the deadlift position, basically just kind of to support my body, but it's the abs and the lower back that are actually going to be doing the movement. And this is a really good way. I've done a few tests of this already, and it's really effective. It's going to very much target that core crumpling that happens when you're doing a really heavy deadlift. And I got a couple of 65-pound dumbbells here. I'm going to come up and hold and squeeze and kind of relax the abs and lower down again, and then I'm going to come up and repeat. I can do this a few times. And then you can, as you get stronger, develop and really increase the weight with this one to develop that core strength so that you don't fold over when you're doing a heavy deadlift. And it's not quite as much of an issue as if you're doing belt deadlifts. For me, I don't ever use a belt, and I prefer it that way. But even with the belt, this is going to help you learn how to exert that bracing force with your abs. So here's what it looks like. You can adjust, obviously, the bar here, but that's going right into the midsection, right in the center of the abdominal area. Get your feet in the position, reach down, grab your dumbbells, and then brace. Basically how the movement happens is you're not going to have much of a choice as far as bracing your abs. If you don't brace them correctly, you'll just get folded right over. So it's a really good teaching tool for teaching how to use the core when you're doing heavy lifting. While you're doing this, you want to really try and focus on taking your legs off the ground. You're not obviously actually going to be able to do it, but trying to take the tension off your legs is going to force more tension onto your core. It's going to work your core that much harder when you do it, and you'll really learn how to brace your abs then. Because not only will you get your body weight pulling down on your abs, you have the dumbbell weight pulling down on your abs. And this one, because of the position, does also work the lower back fairly well. It's going to teach you how to activate the lower back in conjunction with bracing of the core. So it's a very valuable exercise/teaching tool for developing that limit strength in the core when you get into the heavier weights. So this is absolutely one you should work into your training if you want to move maximum weight in the deadlift and the squat.